Welcome to the RogueOverland Adventure Chat Podcast, episode 14. In this episode, Mike and I are talking the nonprofit Race to a Race 22, which has the vision of bringing light to and preventing veteran suicides. We're not only sitting down with one of the founders, but also people who have been involved in the organization. We have worked with this organization for many years, and their mission is dear to our hearts as we have active military, DOD, and we also have military family members. Now, do us two favors with this podcast. One, bear with us on the audio. It is not the best. We actually filmed this at one of their events, and the room was just echoing like crazy. We did our best to fix the audio, but please just bear with it. Hang to the end as the message here is really important. And two, if you know anybody that might benefit from what Race to a Race 22 is doing, please share this podcast with them and feel free to reach out if you want to help support their cause. Now let's jump right into it as Mike and I sit down, first interviewing one of the founders of Race to a Race 22.
All right, Debbie, thank you for being here today. We've worked with you guys kind of off and on for maybe 3 or 4 years now.
So yeah,
with some of our events, and Jared, one of our trail leaders, our squadron leaders, is part of your organization, so it's made a real easy kind of synergy there. And so what we'd like to do today is have you help get the message out about what Race to a Race is. So I think the biggest thing is let's just start with what is it?
so Race to a Race, we started in 2016. We are a nonprofit, 501c out of Las Vegas, all volunteers. And we first raised awareness about military and first responder suicide. Hence, the 22 came from a VA report in 2012 that said that 22 veterans and 1 active duty lose their life to suicide every single day. I can tell you it's not even accurate because the reporting is not correct. California and Texas don't have reports. Those are our largest, states. So, and also a lot of times when someone dies by suicide, the family does not want it to be reported as a suicide if they can avoid it because of the stigma. So, if it's if it's drug related, maybe they know it was a suicide as a purpose, they prefer it to be a drug overdose, which is kind of interesting in itself because there's just so much stigma involved with someone taking their own life. In fact, we try to tell people don't even use the word commit, which is commonly done. And I've used that word in the past, but that has the connotation about committing or committing a crime. Well, people who die by suicide are not committing a crime. So the families behind really hurts them. So we try to even teach people about that, the language you use when talking about someone losing their life. So that's how we originally started because we were connected with another organization. We were part of the off-road racing world, SNOR, Seven Event Off-Road Enthusiasts. And we were part of the board of directors. We put on races. And this other group was Wounded Vets that raced. And we really supported it and saw the difference it made when you put Wounded Vet inside a race car. The adrenaline therapy or dirt therapy, it's that activity, that excitement, but also it's the group, the mentality. It's a group working together cohesively to get the mission done. So it's perfect for military people or people at law enforcement.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. So we saw the difference, and then they decided not to come out west anymore. Well, I told Bill, listen, honey, I can't stop now because we've made a difference. Yeah. So I asked people, listen, if I create the foundation, will you guys support it? We had a veteran that provided this racetrack. Will he support it? Absolutely. And that's really how it came to existence. I did a lot of research at the time. We're going to name it, So that's when I found this report from the VA about suicide because as a civilian, I had no idea the horrendous number that we were losing every year.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was so high.
No, we lost more to suicide than all the wars combined except the Civil War.
Oh, wow.
And I told a veteran that today at our Camaraderie booth because I had no idea.
No idea.
Yeah, because people don't talk about it. But that's really how we got started. And then, and it really wasn't and initially it was about racing or being involved in racing because that's where we came from.
Mhm.
But it morphed into so much more because we were sitting in a Vegas to Reno race several years ago, 2017. The truck wasn't able to start, something was wrong with it. We had a booth, and it was like, oh, we're here. What are we going to do? You know, we're going to have our step. What are we going to do? And we had these photographs or posters, memorial posters made of various fallen warriors, of families and friends of fallen soldiers had sent in, recognizing their loved ones. Let's go down through the tech line, you know, continuously in tech line where the vehicles are lining up to get inspected. Let's go down and ask the racers if they'll carry a photograph. And so we did that. I took pictures. I put it on our social media platforms. I tagged the families that I knew. And that created the most amazing, amazing thing because the families would thank the racers. Because a lot of times I tried, if I could, tag the racer as well. Or I'd post it on our page.
Yeah.
And they see the family and say, thank you so much for carrying my love. You don't understand what a difference that made for me today, especially the moms.
Oh, yeah.
And so when the racer saw it or pit crew saw that, then they say, oh my gosh, we actually made a difference. They didn't realize the importance of it. So that truly, this was mind-blowing, the amount of what it created.
Yeah.
So we started doing that at every event we went to. And then as we learned more and more, got more involved with other organizations, we've kind of just expanded it to Jeep, you know, going into the off-road, like here we're at Winter Jamboree, a hump and bump. Because again, it's the off-road community, whether you're racing, recreating, overlanding.
It's a tight-knit community.
It is. And the most giving, wonderful, patriotic community ever. And it's not about politics ever.
No.
You know, because the flag is not a political party. So it's just people loving their country and wanting to support those who give us the freedom to recreate. Because we wouldn't have this freedom without our law enforcement, our first responders to protect us in our communities, our military to protect us in our country. And it's just turned into so many things. We've done outreach to our women veterans communities through art therapy and music therapy, equine therapy. Anywhere we can make a difference, we try to do that.
Yeah.
So if we get a call for help, we'll do that. We've done. We had a Vietnam veteran who lost his apartment in a fire here in Las Vegas. We have contacts in the VA, and with all the red tape, they can't just go give money, you know, here and there. So this veteran's joy, this veteran wanted to do, to get him to wake up in the morning was to feed his fish. He had an aquarium, and that was his look. He lost most of his family, and that was his joy. Because we all have a different joy.
Yeah.
Something that gets us up in the morning and looks forward to the day. Whether it's family, your job, off-roading, whatever it is. Well, fish dispute. Well, that's his family. But his insurance would not cover it. They didn't have the funds, so my friend asked, can you guys maybe, help with that? I said, absolutely. So we went and purchased him a brand new tank filled with fish, all the supplies he needs to give him his joy. And so we find those little things.
Simple little things.
Simple things. And we try to really, I think the most important thing we try to teach people is, or share, is that the simplest act of kindness and respect truly can save lives. You don't have to have this huge, grandiose plan. If you just are in somebody's life, if there's a friend, and this is not just military or law enforcement or first responders, this is humans. If you have someone in your life you haven't seen for a while, they seem quiet, they segregate themselves, isolating themselves, giving away their belongings, check on them, reach out. And you don't have to say, hey, what are you going through? Just check on them, knock on their door. We try to tell people, listen, it's okay to interrupt. Be an interrupter, because you never know. When you make that call, they could be in the act of deciding to kill themselves or the act of killing themselves. They get a call, it can stop it because it's just enough. And I know for a fact this happens. It's people call somebody or they text somebody or knock on their door, hit us with some coffee or whatever, and it truly makes a difference. And how easy, we all can do that. We all can play a part in that. So I think it's just, it's just easy to just be kind and reach out and respect each other. It's simple, right?
So true. One of the things you said there that has rung true in my life is I like to say it is you never know how you're going to affect somebody else's life. I've had a few instances, not to the depth of suicide, but I've had a few instances where an interaction I had with somebody, I didn't realize that it was significant. And then years later, I would run into them or we have a conversation or whatever, and they say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that time that so-and-so happened, like that really helped affect the trajectory of my life or what I was doing with a certain, situation. And after about 2 or 3 times of that, I realized, this is over many years, but 2 or 3 times I realized you never know how much you're affecting somebody else's life, no matter how, let's say, insignificant it might feel to you.
You're absolutely right. And it's because you don't know what someone's feeling and they're going through. You never know. That's why I try to tell people, because often I've seen it. Again, I'm not in the military. I've never served. Our families have served. My husband's family served. My dad was a World War II veteran. My brother, a Navy veteran. My uncles and aunts served in the military, but I did not, and my husband did not. So this is our way of giving back and saying thank you. How we're serving our country by thanking those we need to thank and doing more and trying to do more. But yeah, it's just, you just don't know what the struggles people are going through. So just like you guys sharing your Overland adventures or teaching people how to do, what to do. So let's say someone then follows that and gets into it, that possibly could save someone's life because you're giving them an outlet. And that's what I tell people, whatever, you don't know what, just share, be nice.
Just be nice.
Just be nice.
Such a great
It's
thing.
not that hard.
It seems hard so many people.
I know, I just think, and don't judge other people. And in the military community, often, you'll hear all the Navy, Air Force, Space Force, everybody give each other a hard time.
Yeah.
And especially our group, it's really tough. But that's out of love and respect for each other. But then often, sometimes, if someone's not in combat, they haven't seen combat, but they've supported, they're still serving their country.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've never been in their shoes. Or even, we've had people, they could be in the same job, in the same branch, but your experience is totally different.
Absolutely.
Because what you're made of, your prior experience before coming into the military also determines how you can deal with things or how you can't deal with things. So I think just because you say, I don't understand why my brother's struggling over here because, I'm all good. And I go, you haven't been in their shoes. You don't know their life experience. You don't know what they're going through. So give them a break.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. Why, I don't understand. It doesn't have to be judgmental. But often it's because they themselves are struggling and they're trying to hide it. Because, it's our warriors, especially our warriors, they're taught, don't share your feelings, suck it up, all the different things you hear. And men, unfortunately, especially, just men in general, have been told that. Don't show your emotions. And that's, no, it's okay. And that's really what we try to tell especially our law enforcement, our first responders, because I feel like, unfortunately, they're behind the military as far as in suicide prevention or talking about it, because we have one metro officer we carry, because that's the only information I can get, and that's the man who shared it. But we lost several Metropolitan Police Department officers to suicide, but it's just it's a tight-knit thing because they think it's going to be overshadowing. It's just going to be a negative. But we need to let people know. Listen, these officers, we need to support them. So. And we need to let them know it's okay to talk, but unfortunately we've learned, and again, I'm not an officer, never served in the police department or a fire department, but if someone is struggling in their job, they're afraid to go to leadership because they want to continue to do their job. So they're afraid that if they say, hey, listen, I'm struggling, and it's only because of past experience that they get demoted or let go or somebody's going to make fun of them or whatever that circumstance is. So they don't want to share. And they're afraid to have that, be able to say, hey, I'm struggling. I think slowly the sheriff here is committed to mental wellness in the police department. And I'm hoping that he does that. I think they're making good strides or at least going in the right direction. I hope to see that. I think the fire department, Henderson Fire Department especially, believe they lost 4 to 5 persons of the department in the last 5 years. Yes, Robbie Pettingale, Scott Pettingale, father's son. Scott's the captain in the Henderson Fire Department, and then his died by suicide. His son in the same year died by suicide.
Sure.
Noah. Did you hear that? Yeah. No, and we heard it from fellow Henderson firefighters, and then we researched and found articles. But a lot of time it's the leadership. I mean, there's an individual that was EMT in the fire department, and he had a lot of children calls, and he asked his leadership, "Hey, listen, I need a little break. Can I cut my hours? Can we do a different shift? Just looking for a little bit of help. Well, literally free." And his particular leadership was new, and I said no, and it added to the shift, added to his English, and unfortunately lost that firefighter suicide. And that's has to change. That's poor leaders. The stigma has to change. And so in order to change it, we need to talk about it. So that's what we really try to promote is let's talk about it. It's okay to talk about it.
So it seems very clear that there is a problem here that needs light shed on it. So I think what would be helpful is your organization. What are some of the things that you do to help these people? So I know carrying the veterans. Mike and I have carried carried veterans for many years now, and at a lot of the events. You guys have your book, and as you said, people can carry a veteran. There's the program with the veterans being able to be out on the trail with us and in the race cars. So those are a couple of ways. What are the other ways that you guys are helping these people?
So at each of the big events we go to all kinds of different events. Like here we have a booth of the wonderful people at Winter Jamboree, donate the space for us. And so we share resources. So for instance, the hotline, it's a hotline that an officer, anyone can call, but it's for police, and it's manned by retired police officers.
Oh, nice.
So that's someone can relate to their experience. You can talk to me all day long, but I cannot truly say I know what you're feeling. I've never experienced it. But if you can call a fellow officer, or someone's been in your boots before, they can relate, and they also don't feel judged because they know they've done the same things, had to do the same things, been through the same kind of things.
Do you happen to know that number?
It's the top line. I wish. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
We'll put it. If you're listening to this on YouTube, we'll put it down in the description. We'll get it.
Perfect. And if you just do the top line, we can find it. Yeah.
Is that a nationwide? That's not
It's nationwide. No, it's a nationwide program.
Okay.
But and they do not have the duty to report to your leadership unless you're threatening your own life or others, which legally you're bound to.
Yeah.
You have, you need to. And the same thing with Safe Call for first responders, the same kind of idea. It's manned by first responders. And there's other ones out there, 988, it's a national hotline. It used to be a long number, 1-800-277-8277, whatever it was. Thank God the laws were passed just a couple of years ago of 988. That's the text line.
Okay.
Which is wonderful because let's say you're having a mental episode, a breakdown, or whatever, you're struggling. 98 is kind of remember that.
Yeah.
This long number is not. So they've made that really super easy, I think, for people to do. And you can text it, you can call, it's just easy to do. And if you're a veteran, you can just option 1, get connected to somebody who's familiar with, usually it's a veteran or someone familiar in that realm. So hotlines we share resources such as equine therapy. There's so many wonderful organizations in Las Vegas and Utah, across this country, that are available, but that information is not given or provided or easy to find.
You gotta dig for it to find it.
And if you're struggling, the last thing you're gonna do, you don't want to dig for it. So we're hopefully putting it in the hands of those in need, families of those in need, anywhere out there. Team Red, White, and Blue in Las Vegas, they do a lot of outdoor recreation, hiking, all kinds of things. Merging Vets and Players, another wonderful organization that does at the Randy Couture's gym, and they go and they work out together, but then they also sit down afterwards and have a nice, get together a round table, and it's like-minded combat vets. Just sharing those information and hopefully it'll perk someone's interest because we're all different.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes off-roading. So we try to share what's out there and hopefully spark someone's interest and maybe they'll, get involved because we find that if we can find a new purpose, a new mission, a new support system, it makes a better transition into the civilian world. Or if they're active duty, or if they're, current officer, law enforcement, or first responder, it's another group they can, just kind of get out of their headspace and enjoy. And that's why we think off-roading is so much, so much fun. You're out in the dirt, you're in this beautiful area. If you're actually in a Jeep and you're driving, you have to focus, so your mind clears. Just same with off-road racing is why we've got, it's a perfect transition because you're not driving a vehicle, but you're a co-driver, and you're having to watch the screen navigate, and just listen to the radio, focusing, and time after time when we put vets in the car, they'll say, Debbie, because once we got off the starting line and start going, everything else went away except focusing on driving and helping the driver and just watching it, and it was wonderful. It was exhilarating too, but it just all went away, and that's what we're looking for, to get a little reprieve. Something to take away, something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And again, now it's a new support system too, because they've made new friendships. And so many times they've gone on to either work for a team or volunteer for a team, be a part of an organization.
You get into that.
You get
It
into
opens
it.
doors.
It opens so many doors if you choose to. Yeah. You have to do some of the legwork, but we try to connect
But you
with
give them
teams.
in.
Oh,
Because a lot of
absolutely.
times, I know racing, that's a hard.
It's tough if you
A
don't
lot of those
eat,
teams
right?
are very close knit. It's a hard thing.
Yeah, it is. And we also encourage, and we provided opportunities for our warriors to get involved on the organization side, to be a volunteer, do a checkpoint, do a retrieval. Being a volunteer at an off-road race is the best seat in the house. Because
Absolutely. I can vouch for that.
you can't expect, you can't really spectate, except for in certain areas, I meant 400 and those kind of things, but from far away typically. But if you're a volunteer, you're working at a checkpoint, or
You get backstage
you're
passes
15
to
feet
10
away from a
Yeah.
trophy truck going 100 miles an hour. What kind of feeling is that, right?
Yeah.
And you're helping, you're part of the mission.
Yep.
You are an important part of the mission, because volunteers of organizations, whether it's putting Winter Jamboree on or putting Legacies, Baja Nevada on, you're an integral part of that organization and making that event happen. So again, it gives purpose. So we just did a race for Legacy and had a few volunteers come out, and they had the best time. I had no idea, but so that's another way. You don't even have to be on a race vehicle. You can just volunteer and be part of the action.
And you guys have opened up your home, or I guess your shop, the cantina, right? Because I know you guys have had Christmas. We've been up there for that, and I think we were there for a welding class a couple of weekends ago. And you guys we were leaving so that the police could come in for food or something.
We have a big shop in our backyard, and we built, my husband and actually Dan Martin, but he was active duty. Nellis is here with us today, and several people, Jared and Jim, a bunch of people helped. We built this cantina. It was supposed to be just a little thing, but it's been an amazing place. So we just hosted, Carnage Welding came in. They're great folks to work with. They came in and gave a welding class, because many of our folk have their equipment, and they volunteered to come in and show them how to use it. And it was an amazing class. But then we also had that evening, so Bolden Area Command is a unit or a command center in Metro that we work with a lot. And one of the things we noticed or we're told that, a lot of times the day shift or even the night shift gets all the goodies, people deliver donuts because jokes, but the food, right? But the graveyard shift gets nothing, or they get the leftovers. Because we were there one morning super early to get for the toy drive, and he took us back in the back and said, see, this is what the graveyard shift had to get. And so the guys, Johnny and Bill, said, listen, whatever time in the night, morning, bring a unit here and we'll cook for them, so that way they get a fresh meal.
Yeah, they were with the food.
So we did. We had Sergeant Danny Otto. Otto was his nickname, but he was just promoted to sergeant. In fact, that within that week, and graveyard. and he's the person we've worked with for Toy Drive for several years now. He said, okay, I want to be the first sergeant to bring a Unit 2-year shot. It's so great. It was a training night. They weren't working, they're actually patrolling the streets at night.
Yeah.
So they got permission to start a little early. They came in, we had dinner, and more importantly, we had some amazing conversations with these officers. I mean, the youngest officer was 22 years older. Baby. So, and then we had, others are a little bit older. And at that conversation, we learned that one of the young officers, and he was in his 30s, he moved here 2 years ago with his cousin. He was a Navy veteran, his cousin, another branch of service, a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And they were living together in an apartment, and his cousin was cooking dinner, and he was in the apartment, and he went to his room, and all of a sudden he heard a gunshot. So what's that? And he went, and his cousin and his wife in their kitchen. He had no idea he was struggling. And he didn't know how to deal with that. He's going, and he goes, and you could tell right when he was talking about this, the grief that was coming over him, and he was sharing it because he had held it in so long. And so then he said, I've been trying to find someplace where I could volunteer, and I said, you found it.
Yeah.
You have a place with us. I'm sure we had many conversations after that. He wants to go. He has a Jeep.
Oh,
a Grand Cherokee. What is a Jeep?
I mean, Nissan Toyota, so we're like,
so he's all about so we're so that came out of just having somebody over for dinner. That's what I'm saying. Inviting somebody over for dinner, and that's how we typically find out a lot of things and are able to help extend the help. And so Boulder, we do our toy drive. Oh my gosh, people are so amazing in Las Vegas. Well, everywhere.
Shop was packed the last time.
Yeah, we've done the toy drive for 6 years. For 6 years now, and we first collect toys for children in pediatric hospice, and so then, which is incredibly sad. I mean, can you imagine? I'm a mom, so as you can imagine. So the wonderful staff at the hospice facility, Carousel Pediatric Hospice, is who we work with. We collect toys for them. And then after that happens, then we collect more toys for Bolden Area Command. So Bolden Area Command is part of Metropolitan Police Department, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. It's an area that's really rough. I mean, there's a lot of gang activity in there, some high crime, high domestic rate, high domestic violence rates. It's one of our toughest areas. And so with Bolden started this. So it wasn't our idea. We just jumped on the bandwagon when we heard they needed a need. And we go collect toys. We do a UTV ride. Everybody who wants to come out on the ride has to bring a toy. So we did that again in Alamo, and the amazing folks in Alamo helped out. So we were able to then go into the Bolden Area Command with the police on Christmas morning in squad cars, along with some of their other vehicles. Christmas music playing through their broadcast system, their PA system. And we pull into these neighborhoods, and slowly you see people peeking behind the blinds and children slowly coming out with families. And we provided hundreds of children in that neighborhood, as well as the parents. So we had tons of blankets donated, and gift certificates for food, and provided all those families with loving, just showing, just let them know, hey, this is a way to enjoy Christmas. And it's the most amazing Christmas morning. Yeah. Besides with my kids that I've ever had. And we had a few volunteers this year join us, and it was just, remarkable. And the hospice, so because of, personal reasons and privacy issues, we don't see the children. So the hospice sets up a shop with all the toys that we provide. And the parents can come in there and select a shop for them.
That's awesome.
And we provided enough toys. Well, we put the word out, but it's really the wonderful community that came together. Enough toys for 126 children in a pediatric hospice, which is just insane.
Yeah.
Plus their siblings. So there was over 375 children provided, little Christmas joy. So we were really, really so proud of that. Be able to provide that. And then somehow we got some emails from outside the hospice a young mother called or emailed and said, "Hey, my daughter's, in hospice, but she's not in that hospice. I found out. Is there a way you can help?" And I thought, okay, we typically, do the only because there's just we don't have a whole lot of, revenue. It's hard
Resources.
and resources, and it's hard to do the individuals, So it's, but it's talking about, absolutely. What's her age? Can she play with? So I said, I can meet you at your hospital. I don't need to meet your child. I don't want to go that far, but I would like to go to the hospice. And so we did, and she goes, "Well, I want you to meet my daughter, Layla." And so I went into the hospice, children's hospice, and oh man, if you want your heart to really get the feels, and in this room, there's two beautiful young ladies, both 8 years old, fighting for their lives, and the smiles on their face. Poor lady, Layla was unable to speak, but her smile was and then her roommate, which I had no idea, had the most, "Hi, how are you? I'm looking at slime videos. You want to watch?" And it just was such amazing. She was so joyful, even though what she's going through. And I thought, okay, that's what we need to learn from.
Yeah.
These children are so brave. But it was pretty amazing to be able to provide just a little bit of time.
It sounds like doors are just, I'm sorry, it just sounds like doors just keep opening for you.
Well, they do, because we're so open to partnering. Some organizations, they try to be so isolated, or I don't know, they want to just, their activities or events, and no, you can't partner. They don't. And no, we say, hey, listen, the only way we're going to make a dent in preventing suicide is partnering with who are legitimately trying to make a difference. That's the only way we're going to make this happen. So, we always reach out and we share people's things because it's important, because not everybody, again, is not going to know what we do or can do what we do or whatever. So I think it's important that we just, shine a light and where we can, offer assistance when we can, and it has opened all these different activities we've never thought we would be involved, like a Golden Era Command. We had no idea that would turn this wonderful relationship. We also have a relationship with Northeast Command. So on January 27th, we've been invited to be part of their Touch a Truck event, which is it's going to be at the Child Haven. It's a private event. We're bringing 2 race cars. Fortunately, we have good friends at Collins Motorsports. Road racer Dallas Trail races a trophy truck. His team. He's providing his equipment. Brendan Gaughan, everybody knows Brendan Gaughan. So his race vehicles. They've been huge supporters of our cause. We're bringing a couple of our vehicles out, and each car is going to come out one at a time. The kids at Child Haven are going to get, check out all the race vehicles, as well as SWAT's going to be there. All different police cars are going to be there. It's a community bonding kind of experience. And hey, listen, the police aren't here. They're not the bad guys. They really truly are. They're trying to do their job. And also we're trying to show, what we kind of do. So Northeast Command's asked us to partner with them for that. We participate in National Night Out with Northeast Command. Just all kinds of things,
That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like in so many ways you guys are really just taking advantage of every opportunity you have to be involved, which is amazing considering, prior to meeting Jared, I hadn't heard of your organization before. And so it's not like you're one of these bigger nonprofits that probably has significantly more funding. So I want to ask the question just before we wrap up, or as my last question, as to how people can help. But I want to take a step back and ask one question that I don't think we quite fully touched on. You talked about your family's background in the military and your husband's background in the military. There's so much good that you're doing. What was the motivation? Like, what is the why for you that made you guys one morning say, I want to start this thing. Like, I want to do it. And I don't think we've heard that. So what's kind of the backstory?
Well, there's a culmination of events. We lost our best friend to suicide. 10 days. But several years ago, not military, not first responder, just a regular dude that was awesome. We had no idea he was struggling, and he was one of our very best friends. And we were in that relationship that, you know, we'd see each other every day. My daughter called him Uncle Tim.
Mm.
And then we wouldn't see him for a few weeks or a few months, but that was okay. We weren't, you know, super needy for each side. And then we got a call from his mom 2 days before Christmas that he died by suicide. And then I went through all the emotions. We all went through all the emotions. We were so angry, like, how could you do this, blah, blah, blah. And then through the grief. And then, again, we got involved with that one organization that was providing, you know, racing opportunities for wounded vets who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. And we met one gentleman, double amputee, and newlywed, and he raced and had the time of his life, and he was hoping to be an aspiring welder. That was kind of fabricating, he'd never done it. It inspired him to go to fabricating school, and he did, graduated, and we got a call from his wife. I said, you don't understand. You saved my husband's life. So when someone tells me,
That's a big deal.
you don't need any other reason, right? When someone says, because truly it was just providing him, and it's not us. I mean, we're the faces of race to race, my husband and I, but truly it's a whole army of people who want to give back. They really should get, you know, the hurrahs and stuff, because really we're just a voice. Yeah. But getting that call, and then his parents, we went to another event, and his parents came up to us and said, thank you so much for changing our son's life.
Wow.
That's truly what the feeling I got. You know, you could really, truly feel your heart, like, I don't know how to describe, glowing, right? I have a job, I worked in the same job for 37 years in the legal industry. It pays my bill. I love my job, but my passion is Race to Race 22, or actually just providing assistance to those who serve our country and our communities, because that's where my joy is. It's not feeding fish. It's not even off-road racing. That used to be, but being able to help or helping others help is my joy.
That is amazing. So what we need to know now is, how can other people help your cause?
Well, unfortunately, you know, money is the root of all evil. And I'm worse. I hate asking for money, but again, I mean, being able to provide all this group here, I mean, it costs money. It costs, you know, and we're just a small little, you know, organization. So yeah, donations are a huge help because it offers us a chance to be able to provide these opportunities. No one gets a salary, no one gets paid. It all goes to the program. So donations are a huge, immensely help so we can continue to offer experiences, offer to be able to pay for someone's fish tank, offer to pay for a veteran's bicycle. We did that, and all the equipment, those kind of things. Removing the obstacles in the way. Like we've paid power bills that was causing somebody so much stress, because it just takes, if you're on the edge already and something goes wrong in your life, it could be the one thing that turns you over. So if we can get in there, remove that obstacle, it could truly help someone. So donations, volunteering is wonderful, and also spreading the word, raising awareness. Like you said, you didn't know the high rate of suicide. We've lost more, like I said, than war to suicide.
And that's money.
Besides the civil war. So sharing information, sharing resources, sharing the 988 hotline is important. And I think the most important thing is just being an ear, you know, helping each other, calling on a friend, be an interrupter. That's going to truly make a difference. So if we can encourage people to do that, we've done our job.
So you have, sorry, I was going to ask you, sorry, we gotta get this figured out. You have a website or something.
No, we do not. And I can tell you this is, we've had promises and promises. Oh, we'll make you this website with no problem. And unfortunately.
So you need someone with website designer or something.
We do, but we found that social media, I mean, people are turning to social media more. So we, like Venmo, PayPal, we have all under Race to Race 22.
Okay.
You can do it through there. We accept the old-fashioned check. It's amazing. But we're on Facebook, Instagram at Race to Race 22. That's where we promote most of our stuff. Our email is race22 at yahoo.com. Not very creative there. Those are ways you can reach to us. Or if you have a product or something, like all those. See the wonderful hat?
Yeah.
The guys downstairs came here, they brought all of our warriors wonderful hats. But even those kind of things. South Point Hotel provides lodging. We bring vets in to participate.
Oh, wow.
They provide all the lodging. Amazing. The Gone family is a huge supporter of our military and first responders anyway, but they're a huge supporter of our mission. And so, yeah, so all the lodging they provide. We've had friends at Sam Boyd as well. They provide lodging for us too when there's events that come. So those kind of things. If you have, that kind of product, racing suits we need, helmets, racing helmets we need, because, they run out of day, so neck restraints, those are important things that cost money. Everything costs money. So if it's a product you can provide, that's great help. Craig McIntosh is the veteran that provides his Race UTV. He just built a brand new one on his dime. He does not ask anything from us, which is amazing. So helping with that, there's going to be parts needed for that. There's so many things you can help us with.
So let me just interrupt you there. So really what it comes down to is if you own any company, if you have any money, if you know what I mean? If you own a hotel, if you own a food service company, if website, any of that stuff, then all your social media is at Race to a Race, then the number 22.
Correct.
And basically, if you feel motivated, you as our listeners feel motivated to help, regardless of what company you own or what money you have, they can reach out to you and see if there's a way that what they have, the product they produce, let's say, could help you.
Oh, absolutely. And we would be thrilled because it is. It's hard. And there's a lot of great organizations out there. And so, we're all trying to do what we can. And again, I'm vulnerable. But no, and everything helps. Every little dime helps. It's not little. Rain Energy drink. So the wonderful folks at Rain Energy, which is part of Munster, their clean energy drink, they bring product to us and we deliver it to different, veterans groups. We have it here at Veteran Jamboree. But again, they wanted to support our cause how they could, and it's been great. So obviously beef jerky that we had, with Baja Jerky, they sent us a bunch of jerky last year. We took it, so when we go to races, you have to feed the pit crew and snacks along the way. Or here at trail, right? You guys need trail snacks? So that kind of stuff, anything. There's really nothing out of the question except as if it's illegal.
It's so, many humble people like you are, they're not very good about self-promotion or about talking about themselves. But something you said 10 minutes ago that I want to highlight, and you correct me if I caught it wrong, is no one takes a salary out of Race to a Race. This is not a nonprofit where the CEO is making $100,000 a year, $1 million a year.
No.
This is everything. Every cent is going back.
Oh my gosh.
To help with the veteran and first responder suicide problem.
It is, absolutely. And that's why we run out of our home, because that way we don't have that extra cost. And there's things that we have to give a t-shirt, for instance. We did that in the beginning. We had a lot of t-shirts about inventory, thinking, this is the way to go. But then we had that inventory, you have to pay for it, and we carried it, especially if you have size of those cells. So we haven't had t-shirts for a little bit, and we've been asking them, but you know what? If it's being able to help a veteran or bring a group here, I'm sorry, but we're going to put it in the people. Yeah, is it a bad marketing thing? Yeah. But I don't care, to be honest with you. Now, hopefully we'll get to a day where we can do it all. And we've had some great t-shirt vendors say, listen, we'll put, they call it drop ship or direct ship.
Yeah.
We'll put your designs up there. People can just order directly. We're working on that right now. And hopefully we've had other people offering to help with that. So that's someplace we'll go, well, yeah, you're right. None of it. In fact, I got to tell you, sometimes we can't. We help self-refund it because we believe in it. Yeah. It's important. It's important because I don't know, you probably heard this from, especially police officers in our country. They don't feel the support. They feel like, and they're getting judged by bad acts of a few, which is a form of, racism. Really, we can't judge a whole group or a whole organization or anything by a few bad acts. So they don't feel, LA County is like they're behind. I think they're like 600 positions because people don't want to take this position anymore.
Yeah.
Our metro in Las Vegas, they're constantly recruiting, going outside the country because it's hard to get people that want to be police officers, and I understand why. So we're trying to tell them, listen, there are millions of people who support you in your job, and let us help you. What can we do for you? And that just alone, let them know thank you for what you do, is everything. Especially this one little, we were at an event, we're helping a child, which has nothing to do with race, but he has cancer. And we gathered a bunch of people, it was Christmas, it was his birthday. So all these wonderful volunteers came from all over. We did a parade in front of his house. And SWAT was there. A lot of Metro SWAT came. And this officer, before we went on this parade, a man came up with his tattoos, and we all judged him. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, came up and said, hey, to the SWAT officer, and the SWAT officer said, you could see,
yeah,
he was on alert, and said, yeah, he goes, I want you to know you saved my life. He goes, I was being a jerk, I was drunk, and just being unruly. You threw me to the ground and said, hey, straighten me up. And from that day, I've been a better man.
One interaction.
And this, one interaction, and this officer, and he was a big dude. And he visually, you could see his face. He started to tear up. And he goes, you know what? I've never had anyone thank me for throwing him to the ground. and the guy chuckled and he said, no, you truly, I'm not lying. You truly saved my life. Because I was on a path of destruction. I was losing my family, and because they were trying, they still, even like over the ground and straight, they still showed them respect and said, hey, you need to get your act together. And that was amazing. And that showed this officer, listen, thank you so much. And so that's what I thought. We could just do that for our police officers and our first responders and our military. That could just improve the suicide rate. I can tell you that for a fact. If we show them their appreciation and that we support them.
Love it.
Awesome.
Well, I think we've got a couple of people from the trail today that we're going to chat with. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Taking the time.
Oh my gosh, I could talk about it.
I love it.
That's not.
Yeah.
You guys are
Thank
awesome.
you very much. We appreciate the platform because, again, like you said, we're usually bad at self-promotion, but no, I appreciate you guys very much. And thank you for being part of our family.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Oh,
I mean, if I was over, I love hanging out with your crew and knowing you guys. Yeah, thank you so much. You guys are like the friendliest people in the world. You're doing.
Well, thanks.
I love what you're doing. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So here we are. Now we got Dan.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out. So what we want to do now is we want to just kind of get the views from a few of the people that are intricate to the Race to a Race 22 nonprofit. So tell us, Debbie went over what it's about. Tell us what drew you to it, maybe a little bit of your background and why it's important.
Yeah, the biggest one, so Jared kind of brought us all in, like all the guys in our little Jeep crew. I got into Jeeping through Jared. I'm in the Air Force. I've been in the Air Force 18 years as of yesterday. So it's a nice little anniversary coming out here every time. But I got in through it with him, getting close with the Jeep community that we have, doing all these events. He brought up about coming out to these and talking about Race to Race 22. And as an instructor now in the Air Force, I bring that up all the time. Because in the Air Force, you hear about suicide prevention, sexual assault, all that stuff. And the last 10 years, it's gotten better. The community, the instruction, the prevention for it has gotten a lot better. So anytime I came, I always do suicide prevention stuff. I've luckily not had to deal with any personal friends or people that I've worked with that has gone through that, but I've had a couple of airmen that I've supervised that have had ideations to where, hey, let me set you up with the right people, let's get you the help. Seeing those signs, picking up on it, and then coming into this community, working with Debbie and Bill, it's just like family. She's just like a mom. Anything you need, yeah, we're there. The cool part is the third therapy part where we get to do these events. Coming out to Winter Jamboree was kind of, hey, we're going to do this. We have vets that come out. I don't have my Jeep here, but when I was able to come out, I would bring mine. Or I'd tag along with whoever, and then that's how we've got a lot of vets that had injuries, came back from combat, and got to hear their stories. So that, like, yes, I'm in the military, but I'm still here, I'm fine. I haven't had those kind of thoughts or any of those situations, but hearing those sides of the story of those members of the military, you can kind of feel that same, hey, I know what you're going through, I've seen people, or now I have your, not expertise, but I have your, what happened to you. And now if I'm teaching, especially now when I teach, I get to give that kind of lesson, like, hey, I heard this is what happens, or this has happened to somebody. And then try to help them into that. Like, hey, because you're not the only one going through this. Everybody has depression. Everybody has a certain form of it. I've gone through my divorce and dealt with that, and this team helped me out a lot. So coming out to these events where I can just get a break from reality and just, hey, this is what we're doing. Even now, like, I moved to Boston 2 years ago. I got my new assignment to be an instructor. I was a carpenter in the Air Force the whole time. And so I hadn't had a break, and it was like, man, I miss the Vegas family. So I try to come out to these events every time I can.
Nice.
Last year I just couldn't because the semester was starting and I was teaching, but the year before I came out, that's when we did that's the first time I met you guys.
Yeah.
And then, so like last year we had spring break, and all the instructors went on leave, and I was there, and I was like, man, Tommy's back. It's like, I need a break. I ended up going to my friend in Colorado to just get that break from it. But the same thing, I talk about race to race all the time. I have their lanyard. When I introduce myself as an instructor to the cadets in the program, like I have like my work picture PowerPoint, and then I have like my family side, and a lot of it has race to race 22. On one of my deployments, I had a flag flown for the Foundation for Debbie with the flag that went over and presented that to them. So if you go to their shop, the bar, that's what we built for that. So that's raised a bunch of opportunities for her to have events there. So it's cool that.
Oh, you were part of the group that built the canteen.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah. So like, we designed it, we built it, and then to hear that, hey, this is what everybody's coming to, and now they want to expand it, make it bigger. So it's just like, that's just how it's all. Yeah. And then the whole family just welcomed you. So there's never any like hesitation or like, I don't know if this is the right thing. It's just as soon as you meet them, everybody part of the organization, it's just, no, you're here. As soon as you walk through the door, we got you. Yeah. So that's the best part.
They've got a way to make you feel like family a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
It's like big hugs.
100%.
It's like,
especially,
home.
I've been gone for 2 years, so to come back and it's just like never, like no separation.
Didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, and it's just great to be a part of this. And then how we all get together for the weekend. And it's not just, it's a lot of fun out there, but this is a way to just disconnect. Like I try to bring as many people as I can to these events. I have my buddy Jay from Colorado who I've told to come out and try, like, you need to check this out. And he came out and he's been having a blast.
That's amazing.
And then to hear like Debbie having the speed, I don't know if you guys were there, but she was talking about before the food.
Yeah.
He was like, man, this is awesome. Same thing with my dad. I brought my dad. We did the Nevada BDR, and I kept like, hey, you come out to one of these trips, and he finally came out and saw like the group of people, and he asked about Debbie and Bill all the time, like, hey, how are they doing?
That's awesome.
And he loves it, so it's great.
Yeah.
He's brought my family and friends and stuff to come out to these events.
Yeah, it's pretty. I come from a military family as well. Have not served myself, but brother, sister, uncle, grandfather, all around. And my brother was deployed, and so it's like I've seen firsthand how military life can be challenging. It can, and everybody, like you said, has challenges, but there's certain things in there that I think can put a little extra strain on the person and the family. And it sounds like being involved in this, the Race to Race 22 is also, besides giving you an outlet and other people around you an outlet to disconnect and to kind of have that, let's just say, pressure release. But also it's giving you some tools to where you're able to almost preemptively be a resource for cadets that are under.
Yeah, it's 100%. And that's like, you talk about the family aspect. So me being in for 18 years, I was stationed in Vegas just shy of 10 years. And this was my family. It was Jared, No Name View Club, the Race to Race family. Like that's where I got my family from. Like I had my work life, on base, everything. I had my coworkers, a few of them that were, okay, those were my people. But my biggest circle was this whole family, this whole portion. So when I left, it wasn't like, oh, I'm leaving and going to a new base. I'm leaving my whole family. Even though my family's on the East Coast, it was hard. Yeah, it's hard to like, man, do I really should I stay here? Or do I just, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to try to finish my time here? Or like, hey, I'm trying to do this to better myself. But it's still hard to just still walk away from it. Because that's the family that I've had for the last 6-7 years that have really been there for me for the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And then also like with Jared, like met my family, met my parents and my dad and everything. So it's like even closer, more embedded in my family. Jim, everybody from the No Name G Club, he met all of them. So just all they ask every time, like, how are they doing? How's Jim? How's this person? So
That's amazing.
It's nice, yeah. Especially when my family is meeting with this family and it just flows. So I love it.
That's great. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us one other thing we want to do here with the next couple of people who come through is the Winter Jamboree. The Winter 4x4 Jamboree is an annual event. I don't know how long, but I know at least for the last 3 or 4 years I've heard Jared talking about it. You guys have come up, and this has been the event where you try to get the vets out and out into the event. So just tell us, we've been out at it 2 days now. I think the Resurrection Trail was day 1, and then today we had a heck of a day on Built Smile. Just give us a positive memory from the trip. What was the day that just kind of like shined out to you?
Well, today was mostly like filming for you guys. Like Jared's like, hey, you're gonna film.
Oh, so you're the one ended up with the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So like today it felt weird not actually pulling my phone out and filming or taking pictures. But just doing that, I mean, it was cool. For me, honestly, is my buddy Jay. So yesterday was an easier ride, so he was with Floyd. And it was just an easy like cruise day. But today it was just seeing the excitement and it's like, man, this is actually pretty cool. Like not understanding like, hey, dude, you gotta check these rides, these trips out.
Yeah, it's flipping.
And then seeing everybody kind of like picking up, and for some reason, like I feel like all the guys in our group had their friends come out for this trip. It was just like doubled up on the guys in this trip. So everybody has like a best friend with them. So I think that adds to it. But I think it's just like getting up in the morning. You have everybody here just ready to roll out, almost like a deployment. But it's just more fun. Like, yeah, it's cold out, but we know it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
And then you have the support from everybody. So if there's someone that falls out, like today, our leader, our guy broke his ankle.
Yeah.
But like people fill in. So it's not just, oh, we got these 3 people that are in charge of everybody. Like everybody just fills in whenever. And that's where the same thing where when someone is in a hard place or you have someone that falls out, like there's always someone replacing to keep it running. The mission keeps going. So it kind of resembles that same thing with race to race and everything, where someone falls out, there's always someone to pick up the pieces and help you go through. So you're not just left out there like, oh man, I don't know, it's my first time on a trip, I don't know what I'm doing. There's always someone who's going to step in. It's just super friendly. There's no one's like, oh, no, screw him, like I'm not going to help him out. And it's like, oh, you need help? Yeah, go ahead. And I'm like, oh, is somebody spotting you? Are you going with him or this person? So I think that's the best part of it, is just everybody's just so willing to just keep going. And that's the fun part.
I love how this group, the No Name group, will just, I mean, they'll dog you from one side to the other.
Oh,
they'll help you the whole time, pick the pieces up, but they're just run you into the ground the whole time laughing. Yeah.
And it's not just these events.
That's the family stuff too.
Yeah, it's not just these events, because you have all the off-road racing things, that the events that happen. You have the Man 400, Vegas to Reno, Baja 500, 1000. What else is there? We do the hump and bump. And so like we got into more of the off-road racing scene because of Build That, because that was their past. So they bring us into that, and then we get to go experience that or get ride-alongs. Get to like a few years ago, Debbie hooked me up with a free ride at Speed Vegas in a fast car, and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" I'm like, yeah, I'll come in. But it's just those little things that they do without even, hey, you want to go do this? Like, sure, yeah, I'll stop. it's available.
Yeah.
Like, why not? But then just introducing us into that world too, where I've always wanted to see what the racing community, off-road racing world was like. And then getting that first like look with it behind the scenes with her, doing the pit crews with the teams, like that's stuff that like you don't really get to see or do. And then when we talk about like, you got to do that? Yeah, it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
It's way fast paced. Where the Jeeping here is super slow.
Yeah.
And you have to watch what you're doing and finding those lines. I think that's the best part, is just kind of figuring out like there's not just one way to skin a cat. Like every vehicle, you guys have your vehicles, and there's different ways that you guys can do versus the Jeeps, the 2-door, 4-doors, LJs. Like everything is different.
Yeah.
But like, okay, you start picking up on how the mechanics of it work and gas, brake, how to do it.
I think that's been the most fascinating thing for me since, merge is probably not the right word, but since kind of the Rogue Overland crew and the No Name Jeep Club have spent a lot more time together. It's fascinating to me I love it to be on the trail and say, okay, cool, we're going to have my Xterra come through this obstacle, and this is how we solve that problem. And then we have Mike with the IFS. He's going to come through, and this is how we solve that problem. And then there's a 2-door Jeep.
Yeah.
And then now there's a JL or whatever, and then an XJ. And it's so neat to see how the different vehicles,
how they perform.
They perform differently, and we all have to solve the problem of how do we get that vehicle through the obstacle. It's
and like, so everybody's just going to joke about it, but when they see you guys go up, it's like, it's really going to work. Like everybody's fast, so everybody stays and watches.
Yeah,
No one's
everybody gets best of it.
They're on
Everybody gets best of it.
So it's like, damn, that actually did pretty good. Okay, like we can do this on another vehicle. So it's just problem solving.
Yeah,
it's always problem solving. So it's not just coming out to do fun. Like you're learning so much.
Yeah.
The safety aspect, and if something happens, everybody jumps in to help. So it's just you see it like today, the injury, all the different hiccups we had. What works, what doesn't work, the cold rocks and not being able to go up stuff. Yesterday, everything was hot, so you can climb up everything no problem. Tomorrow, we'll see what happens. We're going bigger.
Yeah.
So it'll be 10 in the morning, so hopefully everything will be warmer, so everything will grip better. But you don't know who ran it before and jacked it all up. It's never the same. So you just always have to be flexible. We say in the Air Force, flexibility is key in airplane. And so, like, out here, it works that same way, where it's not just one way. You have to be flexible on everything you're doing. Something happens, we hurry up and go to that. Or we help each other do this. So it's just constant, like, problem solving, nonstop.
I think that the parallel there is so cool to me. And prior to kind of getting a little deeper in with Race to a Race, I've always thought of it as like a chess match. Like off-roading was a chess match to me. It's how do you navigate it right? But the more that I've been out with you guys, the more I realize the parallels between off-roading and the military there's a lot there. There's a lot of parallels, like you said. You come in and like your team helps you through.
Yeah.
And it's pretty amazing. And then it's cool how Race to a Race comes in, and then also is now a teammate for veterans and active military to help them through whatever they're struggling.
Yeah, like every day is a new mission. So you have your safety brief in the morning, the driver's meeting. You go over safety. We talk about, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is what we're thinking is going to happen. Then you go to execute the mission. The stuff goes wrong. You problem solve. And then at the end, you have your debrief. So at the end, everybody gets together and we talk about, hey, we had a good day today. We had these injuries. Everything went well. And then after everybody leaves, we have our own debrief. And everybody's hanging out, just kind of laughing and talking about what went wrong or what happened. Oh, next time we got to work on this. So it's great. And then even with you guys, like, it's not just the military and like the adults, you're bringing the kids into it. So everybody now, you got the new generation coming in and having this where the new generation now is on their phones. So you guys have your kids in it. It's where they're having fun. They're jumping around. They're seeing the lines. They're getting into their RC cars. And you're breaking that. So you have the RogueOverland family with their kids, the Jeep No Name group with their kids, and you guys do a kids trip.
Yeah.
So that's cool too, because now you're bringing that whole world into it. You're still explaining that, like, why are we doing this? Not just for fun, like you have this whole mission aside from it. So, and then what it's doing is helping the community grow, to keep the courses open, to keep all the land open. So it keeps working. That's not just at our our level, you're bringing kids and all the younger generation. Yeah, so it just keeps growing, hopefully. So everybody else just needs to have a kid to come out.
I agree with that.
I think you know, you probably can do it perfect. Yeah. Anything else to add?
No, I mean, I love it. I love the community. It does remind me of the military. So it is my civilian life for the military, the civilian version of it. But the whole race to race community and the mission that Debbie's doing for it. Just a little bits of talking about it. When I talk about it with my cadets, we do the toy drive around Christmas time. We've done it when I was here in Ellis. I wanted to start something with Boston University, with our school, with our cadets, maybe do like a run or something, 5K with it. So I'm trying to work that before I leave. So they have it, and they ask about it. They see the stickers on my car or my lanyard, and they look.
So you're actually able to even take the race to race concept and take it now across country.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that. And talk like a sponsor or do something to where we have like shirts or whatever, maybe do a 5K. So it's just tricky with the school and politics and what you can and can't incorporate.
Gotcha.
But we'll try to figure something out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. And thanks for letting a couple Japanese guys hang out with all the
That's good. It's always cool, especially because it's not just a Jeep thing.
Yeah.
You guys have your Nissan, you have your Toyota, so you put that out there. So now other vehicles outside of Jeeps are coming.
Yeah. See, we're trendsetters next.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for being All right, Mike. So we've got you here. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. And kind of like I've talked to the guys before, Debbie told us what Race to a Race is about. Now, what I want to know from you is, tell me your experience with it. Why is it important? How did you get involved?
So we met Debbie and Bill. Oh boy, it's probably been 5 or 6 years now. And we met her at an off-road event. And nice people, you know. Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But for us, me being a veteran, I wanted a like-minded group of people to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we first moved to Nevada, I didn't know anybody. You know, we're new to the area. For me, it's not necessarily hard to meet people, but like-minded people. You know, people from the same experiences. And being a veteran, it's kind of an adjustment period. Because when we first moved to Vegas, I was only out like 8 or 10 months. You know, so, and like, when I say out 8 or 10 months, I had just gotten home. And then we're like, yeah, you're out of the military. Let's move to Las Vegas. So, you know, we moved to Las Vegas. We lived in Las Vegas for 10 years, a little bit longer, 10 years. And, you know, we got really deep into it. And, like, when we first met Debbie and Bill, it was crazy. We kind of was like, oh boy, this is an ordeal. And then I started meeting some of the other people, and we started going to some of the other events, and it's been like a family. And every person that I've met has been either welcoming, helping, like, you know, you get to hear everybody's experiences, you meet different branches, and it's amazing. For me, off-roading has been, it's my therapy. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big go-to a therapist type guy. Like, it's just not, it's not who I am. I don't think I need to pay somebody to listen to my problems.
Okay.
When I can go off-roading with people who are having the same problems. You know what I mean? Or the same mindset, right?
Yeah.
And it's helped my marriage. It's helped me with my kids. It's helped me personally. Like, I'm telling you, I couldn't be more grateful. I really couldn't. Honestly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, what branch were you in? Army. Okay, if I was Army, you want to say it wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
So, I guess what I want to know is, and a little bit off camera, we started talking about this. How did you meet them? Because you considered starting something similar on your own. Right?
So we actually met them at this event 5 years ago.
Winter Jamboree.
At Winter Jamboree.
Oh, awesome.
I think it was 5 years. It might have been 6 years ago.
Okay.
And it was way smaller.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna say like way smaller, but it's much smaller. And we just met Debbie. We didn't meet Bill. We didn't meet anybody else. And Debbie was so welcome. And my wife just immediately was like, "Woo," you know what I mean? this lady, you know.
Yeah.
And that was it. That wrote it for us.
Mm-hmm.
It really.
Nice.
It was amazing first, you know, and they both end up kids like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Now, how has working with them allowed you to expand the reach of what they're doing? Do you have friends that you've brought in?
So actually, yes. So I've brought in. Well, my wife has brought in a few friends.
Okay.
I have brought in a few friends. Since I no longer live in Las Vegas, so I promoted it when we lived in Florida. I promote it now when we live in Texas.
Awesome.
I promote it to friends that I know that are still serving.
Fantastic.
Because I don't know what they're going to come home to.
Yeah.
You know, like that transition of life. For some it's hard. For some it's easy. You know, you never know. Plus, it's a hobby off-roading is a hobby that I'm very passionate about. Right? Like, I think you guys saw today.
Oh, you're
You know
like
what I mean? But I've taken, just on my own, I've taken friends that I served with out. You know, like if they'll come and visit us in Vegas or when we're in Texas, you know, I take them out off-roading because a lot of guys don't get that chance. They really do. You know, let's face it. Like, not everybody has the availability to buy an off-road vehicle.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, not a lot of guys, if they do have an off-road vehicle, don't get to see like the capability of that vehicle.
Don't realize what
And-
it's faster.
And I mean, like, come on, like you can do a lot in a very stock vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Yep.
it's amazing. It really has.
Yeah.
My wife is deep in it. It really is. It's amazing. I love it.
Now, how long did you serve for?
I served for 13 years.
13 years. Okay, so having served were you deployed at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So I come from a military family as well. I've had siblings deployed out of the country. One into the war zone as well. And so what I would like to hear is if you could speak to, it seems like you've used off-roading and being involved in race to race as outlet. I don't know if outlet is technically the right word, but
That's a very good description.
but can you speak to how important having some outlet is as you're transitioning back from that, you know, say wartime or deployment life to
So for me, when I came home, I didn't really know what to do. Like, I've always had hobbies, right? Like, you have hobbies, and then you find that, oh, this is boring, or I don't want to do this, or I don't have time to do this. When I got really dedicated into off-roading, I found it to be like, it's a challenge, kind of like being overseas. Like, if you break your rig, like, you have to fix it. It's problem solving. And it's a constant, like, keep your mind busy type ordeal.
Yeah.
Like, it's one step after another. So you can't, you know, put the timer on without taking the lug nuts off, or, you know what I mean? Something silly. Like, there's steps to it.
There's a thought focus.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's almost like a rhythm to it. So for me, once I found my rhythm, like, that was it. And I have friends that they just can't find the rhythm. Like, so I'm like, dude, you know, but hey, let me show you this.
Yeah.
And, you know, I share videos. Look at this. Like, hey man, you got to come down and try this with me. It's amazing. You know, look at this. And it's, a lot of guys are afraid to get out of their comfort zone. And I've had like hard years in my Jeep, and I'm like, yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, watch this.
Yeah.
You know, and as soon as you lift a tire, they're white knuckled. You know, it's like, oh God, I'm like, yeah, I got you now. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. You get the, like, I mean, and you see it. Like, you see it today. Like, people are like, oh God, and then they make it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's
all going to be okay.
It's like that dopamine dump that you get from being deployed or, you know, from being in training.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like, what else? You know, it's, I don't want to say it's an adrenaline. For some guys it is, but for me it's like, okay. Right? Like, you get it, you're like, oh God. All right. Yeah, we're good. It's like the first time you jump out of a plane. Where you're like, the suspense is like, oh God. And then you jump out and you're like, oh, that was it? You know?
That's such a good way to put it.
It really is though, like, especially like some of these obstacles and the vehicle's way up in the air or off camber, and you don't know what the end result is going to be. And then you come out and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I made it. Okay.
I think it's fascinating too when you talk about that, how it brings to light how we make stuff so much bigger in our head when we're spinning wheels in our head. We were all wheeling out a couple of weeks ago. Some of Jared and some of the guys came out, and we ran a trail called Slip Lock Gold. And I had built a horseshoe falls in my head so bad. I mean, I was I was so scared of it that day, and I've cleared that obstacle twice. Not cleanly, but I mean, it was work, but I made it. But Mike and I had learned that, hey, the line we had been taking is not the right line. There's this other line. But when I look at that obstacle, the right line, quote unquote, doesn't make sense to me. And so for the days leading up to it, I had made it so big in my head, and then finally, when I got to the bottom of it, it was my turn, and I just was like, F it. I'm just going to do the line that's supposed to be right. And I went, and it was, and like you said, it's like, it's
We made it. It's a relief at the top.
It's so crazy the calm you feel after you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? And Horseshoe Falls is the first obstacle I did after I seriously upgraded my Jeep.
Okay.
Okay.
Lockers, from all the bells and whistles.
Wall to stare at.
And this is the first hard obstacle my wife has done as well. She's like, I don't know. And then we just went up and she's like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is not big deal. All right, Nice. And then it snowballed. That's a whole another off-topic story, but it was crazy, man. It's really been an adventure that's been good for me personally.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really has.
I love the couple things I keep picking up on in these interviews. That people keep calling and saying it's a family. They take care of each other. It feels like back in the military. I just think it's awesome that Bill and Debbie's built this this group of these close knit people. I just think it's amazing. And if you talk to everybody that they have talked to or helped, they're from everywhere. Yeah. And not just they're around Las Vegas, maybe a little bit of California. They are literally from everywhere. And it's cool, but you guys are now taking that, the last guy we talked to, he's taking it out to Boston. Yep. You're down in Texas. You're taking it to Florida now. That thing that they started now. It's like they've developed these they're sending their children out, they're growing, and now they're out doing these things. I just think it's so cool, It is. It's expanding the way it is. It really has. And we've gone to other racing events, we've helped out at other events and things like that here, and it's been amazing. It really has. It's helped me, it's helped my kids. I can't speak enough of the positiveness of it. Well, that's awesome. Yeah.
So tell us about the event. Tell us something. We just want some vivid memory, something that you feel like is worth talking about from the last. We're 2 days in to 3 days of us wheeling the event. So tell us something.
This event for us was when we first started coming to this event. We came with other friends, and it was overwhelming, right? we've never really been up here wheeling, and we've never gone to an event of such magnitude. And then, we started coming up with Debbie and Bill, and my biggest thing, like the first year we came up with Debbie and Bill, we were doing like gravel road trails. Like the really simple, easy trails and this and that. And that's not really my style. So I'm like, nah, let me play around a little bit. And I think that's kind of where everybody was like, oh yeah, this guy's got something wrong. And we've been coming out, and like it was probably the first maybe 3 years we came out. We weren't really associated with the group. We supported the group, right? Like, we stopped by the booth and say hi and this and that. And then I think it was the 4th year that we came out here, maybe the 5th year. I can't remember 100%, that we were like, they invited us in, and, we're like fully like, hey, come over here with us, see what we're really doing, and they pulled us in and invited us into their family, basically.
That's awesome.
And, like these events are crazy, man. Every time is an adventure, You get like one, I think last year, I rode last year and I almost rolled over his Jeep, Floyd's Jeep.
Oh,
Like I put him on Hardtop Alley and I'm like, nah, he can do this one. And I was hanging on the front of his Jeep like, no, don't tip over. I'm holding onto his full bar.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, dude, it's okay. Just keep coming forward.
It's okay.
And he rolled through it and he was like, man, that was crazy. I'm like, yeah, you almost flipped over. And I don't like when I spot, I love it. I love spotting. For some reason it's crazy, and I want everybody to have fun and I want to push their limits, but I don't want to break anybody's Jeep. I don't want anybody to break their Jeep. I don't want them to get stuck or, dents or scratches or anything like that, because not everybody has the same skill I do, or that everybody on the trail does. Right. So, for me, I'm like, let me see where this guy can go this time. Or like, last year I was like really trying to push Floyd. And then I rode with, Doug last year. And
Doug's a great driver.
I try to push Doug as far as I can. Because he's so mellow,
He is. And he wants to push it.
And he wants to push it. I'm like, you better. You knew better than that. Come on, buddy. And that's the same thing this year. I try to include myself in everybody, because like we're all a family. We're all doing the same thing. We're all having a good time. Everybody's having fun.
Yeah.
And I want to help everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care if I don't know you. Like, I just want to help.
Yeah.
Just
have a good time.
It doesn't matter. We're all doing the same thing. We're all out here having a good time.
That's it. We're all doing the same thing, having fun.
Yeah.
Enjoying each other.
Watching after everybody's kids.
Yeah.
The kids is what I'm like, oh, yep, there you go. Now you just created a monster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I were getting monsters.
Yeah. That's a big thing for me, because like my kids have gone off-roading so much, because I have an 18-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter.
Nice.
Right? And they have gone off-roading so much with us, they're like, I don't know. No, I got my own car, Dad. Have fun. We'll see when we get back. Yeah. I'm like, all right. That's fun. And it really has. It's helped me and my wife's marriage. Unless she rides with me, then it's a little. It's just like, no, you're not going to. I'm like, yeah, I am. We might want to walk.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. My wife, she's amazing, but she walks a lot of the trail.
Oh yeah,
because she'll be like, nope, not riding up that.
Yep. My wife, she told me. Well, so we ran the trail that we're gonna run tomorrow. We ran it 2 years ago. And she walked the whole thing.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not. It's just not gonna happen. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'll spot you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Yeah. So this event we look forward to it. Since we don't live in the area anymore, this is our dirt therapy, and that's what we call it, our dirt therapy.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been amazing.
Cool.
So it's great.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Oh, dude.
Appreciate you coming up and talking to us.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure I don't have you spotting on the trail.
I'm spotting both of you guys.
You did pretty good today, so I'm not.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah,
No, I try to keep it as mellow as possible, but like at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if he's got the same like suspension travel as like that guy, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's always a mixture.
Well, that's what we were talking about, Dan. Remember we were talking about with Dan?
Yeah.
Is it's so cool to see the different rigs.
Mhm.
And every rig, the Jeeps are different. You know, you have 37s, you have 35s.
They
Are you an LJ? Are you a two-door?
So, yeah.
You know,
Right.
from the 10-inch wheelbase.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's so cool to see the different rigs do every obstacle differently.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like a personality thing too.
Yeah.
Like you see these people's rigs and they're like, oh, we got this super shiny rig. Or you see the guy that's got the clapped out, like, you know, the clapped out exchange.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, let's do this. And it's a good time, man. It really is. Like, awesome. I love it. I love seeing all the personalities. I love seeing all the G's.
Yeah, that's the fun.
Yeah, that's part. It is. That is. It's awesome.
Sweet.
Cool.
Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. You gonna let me do it? You're the alpha here, so it's kind of easy. No, we're just talking to everybody. We got, we get like he was telling you, we got Debbie's kind of background stuff, which was amazing. And now we just want to bring you guys in and see kind of how you got hooked up with the Race to Race. Is kind of how I'm curious, and how you brought the No Name Jeep Club guys into Race to Race, and what it means to you, how it's affected you, and just a little bit down that path.
So Debbie and Bill are neighbors of mine that we just got hooked up between neighbors and just those kind of relationships. And when we met with them and started hanging out with them, they were just doing the off-road racing stuff, right? Like Overland, that kind of thing. So, and it's kind of weird. It's weird how the universe works, but Doug, one of the other guys, and we had to talk. I was like, hey, what do you think about taking veterans out with us? And I really think what stemmed that is with the American Sniper story, where he was helping the guy out. And, you know what I mean? The guy killed Chris Kyle. So that kind of sparked that conversation between Doug and I. What do you think about taking people out with us in the Jeeps? Then we got hooked up with Bill and Debbie. And after we got to know them, and I went to a couple races with them, doing what they do, I kind of pitched the idea to her. I said, hey, what do you think about taking guys out in Jeeps? I know it's not fast, it's not off-road stuff, but it's still kind of, getting out in the dirt, playing around.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I like it, let's do it. So Winter 4x4 Jamboree was the first event we ever did. Stayed over, had some trailers, and then had some vets. We had some EOD guys and stuff, and that's how we got started in it. And then it's blossomed from there. I mean,
And how long ago was that?
That, I think, it was either in 2008. This is our 7th year, so that would be
so you've been
2018. Yeah,
so you've
this is
been
our
7
7th.
years.
This is our 7th event that we've done at Winter Jam. Yeah.
And it's just continuing to grow. I mean, we were here 2 years ago. We weren't able to make it last year, but even from 2 years ago to this year, it seems like it's
we have including you guys.
Vets.
Yeah, including you guys, 15 vehicles with our group. That's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. To be honest with you, we're probably one of the biggest groups out here that And they've been awesome with Debbie the whole time. Like, helped her out with getting her the booth. 1 year they did a big auction. They auctioned off a custom guitar from somebody, and all the proceeds went to them. So they've been really awesome.
So they've been super helpful.
Yeah, super helpful. Super helpful. What it means to me is honor. You're honoring those people, whatever their struggles were. We're honoring how they lived and what they did for us, and that's really what it means to me. And I've had family members of who I carry ride with me in the Jeep, and so it's tough. I mean, it's tough to have those conversations, but at the same time, it's very rewarding. It's almost I feel like it's almost selfish on our part, because this is what we love to do, and we're just offering up a seat to somebody, and we're having a fun time. But yeah, we get to listen to them sit down. In fact, Brent, who I carry with me, he had a Jeep. Sophie, who I carry with me as well, she had a Jeep too. So it's just weird, like I said, how the universe works. It's come together.
And Sophie's mom was the one you I think you've said.
No, it was Brent's mom.
Oh, Brent's
mom. Unfortunately, we lost Sophie's mom during the whole COVID stuff.
Oh, okay.
And she was supposed to come out. Her and Brent's mom were supposed to come out and do an event with us, and then COVID started. And unfortunately, we lost Sophie's mother during COVID. Or else we would have had both of them in the gym. Amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So they're kind of like our guardian angels when we go out. You know, they take care of us, and we all get back safe. And it's a good time.
So what I want to know, and it's been amazing. We've been able, we're friends, but we've been able to work with you to do our best to promote Race to a Race when possible. So I've heard this before, but for the listeners here, and as they've heard already, I come from a military family. So tell us, like, what was your motivation? Tell us that story. Why, if you don't mind, why did you want to be involved with a veteran? You know,
I come from a Navy family, if you will. My dad, grandfather, my dad's oldest brother, they were all Navy. My dad's oldest brother, he struggled. He was in a pretty catastrophic event on a carrier during Vietnam. And so he struggled with being around crowds and stuff since then. And then I got a lot of buddies who are veterans, you know what I mean? And just watching them integrate back in and their struggles and stuff. And like I said, I was raised during that whole post-Vietnam era, and just respecting them and understanding that they had battles that they don't want to talk about, you know what I mean? So just being able to help that out, I don't know, that's just kind of drawn me to it. So, and then, you know, now we're branching out into law enforcement and stuff like that. Just a ton of friends with law enforcement and the stuff they go through, first responders. That's kind of just drew me to it. And we have extra seats, let's open them up and, you know, get some people out there and share that the off-road world is an amazing world. These people are great, you know what I mean? They're just awesome people, they're down to earth, judgment-free.
I put them up against anybody.
Yeah, for sure. But if you think about the sport itself, you have to be like that because you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're self-dependent, right? Or else somebody comes along and, like, I don't know how many times I've heard of racers that somebody gets hurt, they stop, they help them out until help comes, you know, the rescue teams or whatever come, and they give them back their time. If you're there helping that person for 25 minutes, you get that time added onto your time, you know what I mean, for helping somebody out. That's just how it is, you know, and they've always been great to us, so I don't know, I just felt like it's something I wanted to do, and you know, the guys were the same way, and we did it, so it's a good time.
It seems like talking to the other two guys, you starting that and bringing all those Jeepers in, you've affected those guys, you and Race to a Race, just by opening up those opportunities, man, it's affected them guys so much in the Jeep community and stuff. And being able for them to take it back to where they're at, Texas and Boston now, and you got that little bit that the Jeeper community has come in and done. It's just really, really spread. It's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've all been out on trips and stuff.
Yeah,
we lean on each other. Stuff happens.
Absolutely.
And I just feel that the bigger struggles you have, the closer you get, right? And so, like, I always try to surround guys around me that are better than me because I want them to push me. And
the
guys included, and all those guys, they're better guys than I am. So, you know what I mean? They make me a better man being out there, and that's really what it is. Trying to be a better person tomorrow, you know, that you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's what I got. It's, you know, it's a brotherhood. It's crazy. I mean, outside of the military, but I feel like we have a brotherhood. We all bring something to the table. We all come from extremely diverse backgrounds, but we all bring something to the table. And we just click, you know what I mean? Like when we're out, something happens, boom, boom, boom. It's like, I don't know, it's like ballet. It's weird. We all come together, bam, get fixed, and we keep going.
You know what's amazing about what you said there, and I've experienced it, and I believe Mike has as well, since we've been kind of finishing each other's sentences during this podcast. I'll speak for him there, but
you're right. You guys are so tight, which is cool. But what we've also heard every person say is that you're very inviting.
Yeah.
People feel instantly drawn in.
Yeah.
And so I think that's such a unique thing to have that brotherhood and that tightness, but then also have be so inviting. And it just, I don't know, it speaks volumes about what you guys are doing.
Yeah. And I would say, from that aspect, I pull a little back, or we pull a little bit about from Debbie and Bill, because they're like that. Like, you guys have been to the cantina.
Oh, yeah.
It's
amazing.
come one, come all. You know what I mean? The more the merrier. And my wife's like that too. You know, she has a very small family, and her friends are her family. So, you know, I've kind of learned that from them, that whoever we don't care who you are, just come. You know, if you're a nice person, hang out. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family has been thrown around this table many times.
Oh yeah.
For family, everybody said it's a big thing.
Yeah, it is. Race to race.
Yeah,
it is.
And it is like
Once you're in, you ain't getting out.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like you said, from an outsider, you know, we've only been a couple of years. Like the minute you walk in that door, it's like this is a group of people.
Yeah.
I want to be
You
around.
get greeted with hugs.
Yeah,
You know,
I want to be around.
Yep.
You know? I could not see Debbie for 6 months and walk in the door and it's instant up.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. They are. It's exactly how it is. It helps us out as much as it helps out whoever. You know.
Yeah,
I get a lot from it.
it's awesome.
We had, before we get into our next question, something I want to say. You said, and I want the listeners, if you guys can listen listen more intently than you already have been, is there's always open seats.
Yep.
And earlier, Debbie talked about ways that people can help.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the ways that she didn't touch on, which I would like to let everybody know, is if you are involved with any law enforcement or because she said you're having a hard time breaking into that area, fire, military, and you are in a point of, let's just say, command where you might be able to funnel people that need that help towards Race to a Race, reach out. Because I know you and I talked. I said, hey, I'd love to carry, more than carry my, my veteran that I always carry. Have somebody come on the trail with me. And you said sometimes it's a struggle finding as many veterans as there are seats available.
Yeah, it is. It can be.
Okay.
Yep.
So for the listeners, if you're a person that might be able to direct some of those people or help that funnel flow in, then reach out, as we talked about earlier. It's at Race to a Race, the number 22, on their social media.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us then now something about the day. We want to know something about yesterday or today. We're 2 days into the event.
Mm-hmm.
What comes to mind? Tell us something that you want to talk about.
Funny moment.
Personally, I had a rough day today. I don't know. I felt off, but like I said, when we come in, as I mentioned earlier, when we have a situation, everybody just kind of falls in place, right, and do what we have to do. That happened again today. Like, we were having issues with spotters. People jumped in. Unfortunately, we have somebody get hurt today, right?
Yeah.
Other people jumped in from our group, and in fact, Mike, that you guys interviewed earlier, one of the ladies that their family, they know Debbie and Bill from being involved in off-road racing back in the day. So they've been involved in the community for a long time. They've helped develop trails out here, other events, and she comes up to me. She says, "Hey, who's the gentleman in the green hoodie with you guys? You know, he's a really good spotter, but he's engaging, he's encouraging, right? That's what we want to be out here, is encouraging." You do get spotters that are like, "What the hell are you doing?" or something. You know what I mean? It's not constructive criticism.
Yeah,
right?
spotter can get caught.
Fast. For sure. My way or the highway kind of thing, right? And but Mike has that confidence. He's very engaging. So that opened him up to that opportunity. And, you know, he's talking about flying up here for another event just to
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. I think that's great that we're meeting all these other groups while we're out there. And, you know, just growing our family, if you will. In fact, one of the coolest things that happened was yesterday morning. I walked over to use the restroom. I'm walking back, and this gentleman and his wife, older gentleman, he says, "Hey, are you going on a ride today?" 400 Jeeps out here. Yeah, I'm going on a ride. What can I do for you? Well, I need a ride back to my truck. I blew a belt on my Jeep. He's driving an old flatty, you know, blew a belt. I said, "I can get you a ride. Come on, come with me." So we talked. On the way over, I kind of told him about race for race, just a little bit. I try not to push on people, but
Yeah.
you know, hey, yeah, oh, I'm a veteran. Cool, thank you for your service. Hey, come on, come with me. We get over there in line. Bill's there. Bill, come here in a second. Can you give this gentleman a ride to his truck? He needs to fix his Jeep. No problem. They're in the family, just like that. That's it. Done. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know.
Love it.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. I could see his flatty oil overheated. It's puking water out of the
You didn't try to lowball him right there, but like, dude, I'll take this pile off your hand.
Nah. I respect those guys, man.
Yeah.
I respect
I watched
those
him.
guys.
They have a lot of respect.
Well, the relic runs tomorrow. Like the legit relic runs tomorrow.
Man, I'm watching them dudes climbing today. No cage, no windshield.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
But yeah, that's just what it's about.
Yeah.
You know,
It's amazing.
just helping out a fellow human.
Yeah. Love it.
Love it, dude.
It's humbling. Very humbling. Oh, especially when you get replies from family members after you post their. I get it all the time from Brent's mom, Lula. I love her to death. She's having a hard time, you know, still.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been years since she's passed, but you know, I'll send her. We text. You know, I text her, "Hey, we had him out today. Just thank you. I was having a rough day. I appreciate it."
Hmm.
I love it. Yeah,
Amazing.
it's a good time. People don't realize it, but it makes a huge difference in those families' lives.
Nice.
Just seeing their picture.
You can see the way this organization affects everybody.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah.
You know, 2 people on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But there's passion there for it.
Yeah,
It
there's huge
shows.
passion. Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jared.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys.
So you gotta, now that you got a couple Japanese guys in the club, you gotta rename it.
Dude,
to
we
the
don't
no
care.
name.
We don't care.
Well, I know, but you get.
I told you we don't care.
No name like Overland. I love
No
it.
name Jeep Club, etc.
Copyright Rogue Overland 2025. All rights reserved.